Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Reezy Resells channel. Reezy Talks, episode 67. Curious if I have to just keep doing the intros like that forever. Hey, how is everybody? It is the end of 2018. Not quite the end. I believe there is 9 days left till the big man comes down. But for a lot of us, it's wrapping up. It's it's becoming the end of the year for the most part. I know our last Amazon deposit went to our bank. So any money we make on Amazon after yesterday, that's all 2019 money. So, excuse me, because I don't do much merchant fulfilling at all. Story on that later. Um, but yeah, so kind of Amazon's ramping down. A lot of people have been working so hard during this time of the year, and they use this time to take a break to try and ease off. And a lot of people don't. They just keep going full steam. January is good, not as good as this. A lot of people spending their gift cards and all that stuff. We got 51 people in the chat. I'm super glad to have you guys here. If you are listening to this on the podcast, I'm also glad to have your ear. But try to come through on the live show where you can actually get some of your questions answered. Please smash the like button if you guys are here. It helps the YouTube algorithm to show the video to more people. Today, I'm going to try something new that was recommended to me by someone that was on my Instagram live stream the other day. That is, I'm going to give out the Google Hangout link for the YouTube live. And instead of you calling me and me helping you and answering your questions, you're going to video call in to the show. So if you want to do that, you need to download the Google Hangouts app. I believe you need the app. Also an extension for Chrome. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But if you want to do that, get that set up, and then I will you have to give me your email in the chat. Unfortunately, that's the only way it's going to work out. You have to drop your email in the chat, so hopefully you're comfortable with that. I will then email you the join link, and then you can join in. We could have a few people in at a time and just take turns answering questions, kind of like a new twist on the old style of doing the phone calls. How's the audio and the video, guys? I believe it might be a little choppy. Let me see if we got any emails coming through yet. Shout out to Rafael Cabrera, Jeffrey R., Mandy Adams, Shelby Parsons, Jake Hayward. Big Lou Antiques. What's up, man? Lee Morgan, Tracy M, Stacey Risner. How are you, Stacey? Stacey is an amazing human. She made my daughter an amazing Halloween costume. Sent it to us. That was pretty cool. Let me see if I'm still trying to find any emails in the chat. So this is new idea, and I'm hoping that some of you guys would be into this. We can still do it the old school style. You guys can call me. The number is 209-83 Reezy. 209-83 Reezy if you would like to call in, and if you would like to video in and actually be on the show, drop your email in the chat and we'll go ahead and get along with that. One thing I want to cover is merchant fulfilling orders. And if you guys follow me, you know I don't do any merchant fulfilled, also known as MF, or some people would say seller fulfilled. But I don't do it at all. And the reason is because it's not as scalable as FBA. To do merchant fulfilled, you need warehouse space to store stuff. You need employees to constantly be shipping that stuff out, obviously, right? So it's just not as scalable. So I don't ever do it. But usually during Christmas, I do a little of it. And this year, I was kind of put back because I went to try and start selling toys, merchant fulfilled, and I wasn't able to because I didn't get the memo. I filter a lot of my emails from Amazon because I just get tired from reading them. And this year was the first year they did this thing where and I'm sure I'm going to fudge up the numbers or whatever, but it was like between October and November, those 2 months, you had to merchant fulfill 25 or 45 orders or something to be eligible to merchant fulfill toys during the holiday season. That was never the case before. So lost my chance at that. Didn't even know it. But luckily, video games aren't facing that restriction or whatever. So I was able to hit a lick on a single video game yesterday, thanks to Jeff, Amazon Slayer on Instagram, Team Slayer. And it was really crazy. I can't reveal like the exact game right here, but it's normally $60 on sale at Best Buy for $30. And then I was getting it with my gamers club for $24 out the door. And then listing it for 48 to like 52, and it was selling instantly. So we're doing like store pickups plus web orders all at once, multiple Best Buys, and I was able to acquire 48 copies of this single game, and they all sold in less than 24 hours. So in the last, like today, I wrapped and packaged 48 merchant fulfilled orders with my employee, and it was the first time that I've done any merchant fulfilled orders for over a decade. But I can tell you guys that there's a lot of profit in merchant fulfilling stuff just because you're first to market. So there's two different reasons why you would want to merchant fulfill stuff. There's some stuff you can't make money selling on FBA because of the fees, but if you merchant fulfill it, you can. Like case in point, lower margin books, like lower tier books, like $2 to $3 profit on stuff you can't even make profit at all FBA. But and these books have really good ranks. They sell fast. And then the other reason that you'd want to sell merchant fulfilled is because you want to get it to the customer faster, get to market faster, avoid the competition, because sometimes something's profitable now, but if you can't get it in store, it might not be profitable when you order it and wait for it to come, or and you ship it to FBA, etc. So, and if you do online arbitrage, that happens a lot. Like a lot of products, by the time you get them and then get them to FBA, it's not as profitable as it once was. So that's one big tip that I learned this season, is that for 2019, make sure you guys are primed and in position to be able to do seller fulfilled. I'm contradicting myself. Merchant fulfilled orders, just because there's so much profit, and a lot comes in line with that, like having boxes and stuff on hand. Merchant fulfilling 50 Monopoly for millennials sounds cool until you realize you don't have 50 boxes for that, so you have to modify a bunch of boxes, or who knows what, pay $3 a box, whatever. So just make sure you have everything in line. Let's see. Trey Nichols says, what rank do you try to stay under for shoes? The short answer is 25,000, but it's a rough guide. I don't really go higher than that unless it's Nike and or the supply is bad, and that's what I think is making the rank bad. So bad rank, bad supply, maybe good rank with good supply. Bad rank with good supply, definitely bad rank. Or at least that's how I think about it, right? Let's see. Dane Upperman says Tracy thrifts it. What's going on, fellow Instagrammers here? Yeah, feel free to put your guys' Instagram handles in the chat and network with each other. Sounds like a good idea. So if you guys want to join the video chat to get your questions asked, sorry, I'm like at a loss for words tonight. Maybe it's because tonight's show is sponsored by Voodoo Ranger IPA. I don't know. Paste your email into the YouTube chat, the live chatty chat, and then I will send you the link. I have an email waiting to go. And then you can get on the show and get your questions answered. I thought this would be a great idea. Maybe some people are not into that. I don't know. If you guys would like to get some quick one-on-one time with me, 209-83 Reezy is the number. Otherwise, in the chat, in all capital letters, just type question and then have your question after that. Mark says, hey, Reezy, what's up? I'm at McDonald's. I know. I don't get it. I'm going to go live on Instagram real quick and see if we can't bring some more people into here. If you guys are watching, please feel free to share the video. If you guys are new to my channel, like, and this is one of your first times being here, please let me know in the chat. If you haven't, like, if you're new to this whole concept of selling on Amazon, and you haven't gone to my website, reezyresells.com, and grabbed my free Amazon course, definitely go do that. It's just going to be an easy way for you guys to get, a quick introduction into Amazon, and let you know how it works, and how just get you going. You know what I mean? Like, if you've just found out about Amazon, this is about an hour and a half worth of video that you should watch that will tell you what you need to do, what's possible, and how you need to do it. Let me see. I'm sending an email here out to Stacey Risner, who asked for the join link. So that should be pretty cool. Let's see. There's a question right here from Dane Upperman. He says, have you seen a decrease in finding profitable books in the past 2 years in thrifts? Definitely found a decrease, but in that period of 2 years, there was an increase. It was like there's been two waves that happened in that period. So to put it at a larger like picture, yes, there is more booksellers, and of course people are learning more about books, but a lot of people start selling books and don't continue on. They give up or they move on to other things, because let's be honest, guys, selling books is hard work. It might be mindless, but it's definitely hard work. And along with that, when Amazon makes drastic changes like they had recently with the new rolling long-term storage fees monthly, people like Goodwill, thrift stores, and other sellers just like fully get out of the game and just give up. You could literally have a business model that is, you could have, who knows, a whole football team of employees, a giant warehouse, and just because your business model is a certain way, then the fee structures change and boom, you're gone. And so I think it's important to weather the storm and just stick around, and it'll always get better. It might get worse at sometimes, then it gets really bad, then it gets better, right? So people who stick through the storm are always rewarded. It's not getting easier, right? That's for sure, but don't be scared of competition. I just saw something that said someone told me that their Goodwills, or at least the Goodwills that they shop at in the New York City area, were not accepting book donations anymore. And I can only logically correlate that with the fact that, there's the new rolling long-term storage fee. And so it got me thinking that we're about to see another mass exodus, because right now we're in month 2 or 3 of the rolling long-term storage fees. And it always takes these large sellers they're slow to move, right? So they got to get hit financially a few times before they realize what's going on. And then they're going to adjust their business model, or, which might be too costly for them, they'll just get out. So that's actually exciting for me. But yeah, short answer, yes, more sellers. But I don't really think the sellers are my main focus is not the competition of sellers. It's the competition from Amazon's fees eating into it, and how I feel like they're forcing us to do merchant fulfilled. I feel like there's a huge push for Amazon to get sellers to do merchant fulfilled. So I actually had this thought in my head the other day, and I'm glad that I realized it. I thought, what if FBA as a platform was a loss leader for Amazon? What if Amazon made almost no money off FBA, but what they did was whet our appetite and let us understand like the breadth of customers and sales and what could be done, basically get us addicted to it. And then over time, so it didn't hurt us too bad, slowly raise the fees and let us figure out how to exist amongst that, while at the same time trying to use that as a way to push us into our own warehouses and not into their own FBA warehouses. And then on top of that, they want us to do seller fulfilled prime. So now they're not only facing the burden of storing our products in their warehouse, they're making us do it and it's like beneficial for us because we make more money. And then at the same time, our products are closer to the customers, because if you do seller fulfilled Prime, your products will only show a Prime badge for those customers that are within a certain distance of you, like shipping close to you, right? So in a way, it's like them turning our garages into warehouses or whatever, are in, making us buy the warehouses outside near the city. It's just a really weird dichotomy. I just was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking, wow, they like fully got us. Like we're stuck in the system. We're not going to give up, right? But it's just super weird, man. Super duper weird. That was a long tangent. Did you get the link, Stacey? Let me know if you got the link. Telecaster 72. I'm sending out another one. Hold on, let me get this email sent out real quick, guys. Dun dun dun. I'm sending an email. Let's see here. Boom, sent. So we've sent the join link to 2 people. Let's see if this ends up happening or not today. Question: what is the best sourcing app for retail arbitrage? I'm using Scout IQ for books, but I want to know if there's a similar app for general FBA products. Cool. So if you use Inventory Lab to list products, Scoutify is free, comes with their service. Great product. Highly recommend it. That's what I use myself. You could also use Scoutly, formerly known as FBA Scan. That's like an all-around solution. They have database for books, for non-books. Yeah, all of those things are going to work for you. If you have Inventory Lab, you might as well use Scoutify. Question: does textbooks ramp up in January, or does it start now? It starts like mid to late December slowly, but it's mostly January. Let's see. Finally caught you online. Been researching this business model. I'm in Canada. I think there's an opportunity here. Definitely. Did you go and check out the free course that I made on my website? Go check that out. Definitely should get you going. How long will it take to get the restrictions off? So I've seen people that started from scratch, sold books, and got approved to sell Nike within 6 months. So if you're willing to put the work in, you can get it done. People always ask me, how do I get approved to sell Nike? And then I tell them, and they're like, that's a lot of work. And it's like, do you really want it, or do you want to pretend like you want it? You know what I mean? People want to pretend like they want success. They don't really want success. It's really sad. Really sad, Let me see. What is this email here? What is your email? Minute. Let's see. Show. Let's see, where is it at? Got this one. 1 second, guys. I'm just sending off some more emails. This is very poor planning of myself, but I couldn't come up with a better way to do this. Let's see if we got one more. I thought I saw another email in here. All right, we're good. Sending out the join link. Join link has been sent. But I'm curious, how has Q4 been treating you guys? Do we have anybody in here that's veteran seller that's been killing it? And how's that been treating you? Today? Monday. So this weekend was a Nike sale. It was 30% off at the Nike factory stores Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And between me and Scott, my business partner, we spent about $30,000 on shoes, which is pretty amazing. That's the largest weekend spend we've ever had. And for 2019, we're actually really pushing on and testing the business model for shoes on a high capacity. I'm really curious to see what can happen. Let's see. We got Auto Reality. I'm about to get you on the email too, Auto. 1 second. So yeah, I think we ended up buying around 600 pairs of shoes. Which is pretty cool. Let's see. We got Auto. Now let's see. I thought I saw. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Tim. Feeling that. Let's see. Boss flips. Adding boss flips to that email. There we go. And Stacey, you're in. Are you in? Did you get in? Did I miss you? um, like the self-checkout lanes in all the stores now. Yeah, no, they actually are trying to take all our jobs, but no, it is what it is. You can they should be using all that space in the front of the store. Like, dude, self-checkout's cool, but the Amazon checkout stores are the best. Like, you just walk out and their superpower store detects everything and you get charged. And I was thinking about how cool that is and how it eliminates like all the square footage of the store that's used. Like, the front of the store is all checkout area. It's a waste of space. The whole store could be shopping. Like, literally, as soon as the door opens, there's a shelf on your right side of products. Um, so that's actually really cool. But I did just go to Best Buy the other day to get boxes, and they have a new checkout. It's a different self-checkout setup. It's a self-checkout setup, but you have to ring yourself out with a gun. There's not like a mirror thing that you put the products up to. There's like your own gun. And I was like, I felt bad. Like, my whole mood changed to self-checkout when I had to hold the gun in the self-checkout. All of a sudden I felt like Home Depot was making me work for free. And then I was like, damn it, self-checkout is making me work. Like, I just want to dump it on the conveyor belt and make someone else work. But the truth is 99% of cashiers are so slow and my patience level is so low. I would much rather check myself out any day. Let's see. Are you Hispanic? No, I'm not Hispanic. I'm Portuguese. I married into my Hispanic blood. My wife's Hispanic. Steve said, are you worried about getting an inauthentic claim on Marshall's purchases? I'm not, because I save my receipts and I photograph the shoes with the Marshall's tag visible, which matches the UPC on the tag matches on the receipt. And at the Nike store, the shoe name is on the receipt, so it's fine. A lot of people get confused when they think about that. So real stores don't sell inauthentic products. A lot of people they think Ross or Marshalls is selling fake shoes. It's not inauthentic. And a receipt from a retail store will always get you out of an inauthentic claim because you have a receipt. It's not inauthentic. A receipt will not get you approved to sell in a restricted brand. Like, that's not an invoice from a wholesaler, right? So a lot of people get those two things confused. Question, what do you send in usually for quarter one and for quarter two? Not your actual products, but in a vague sense, or what has worked for you before. So we ship mostly books and shoes as like a constant thing that we ship all year round. On top of that, we're going to ship whatever is in season, whatever's on clearance in the season, like whatever type of stuff we find. There should be some good back to school action in January. There should be some good like health and fitness category stuff. Toys and Christmas stuff are still going to do good in January because people are going to be spending their gift cards that they got for Christmas, right? And really, like, the next holiday after that is basically tax season. Like, literally, that's the worst time of the year for sales, is after like the gift card season ends in January, back to school ends, all the way till tax season, and people get their taxes, and then people start, people like barely just recover from being butthurt after maxing their card out on Christmas. Then they get a little juice from getting their tax returns or whatever, and then the economy starts working again. But I'm just going to sell whatever's selling, right? Like, sorry, I don't really have a specific answer to that, but you just have to pay attention to the market. If you're doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, there's a lot of seasonality and you can focus in different areas based on that. Let's see. Did someone say Portuguese is Hispanic? Like, or Mike? Is it? Is Portuguese Hispanic? I'll be a dream come true. I'm a Hispanic. Sam's Club, you can use your phone and you ring stuff up as you shop, pay on the phone, and just walk out. Yeah, Walmart has the same thing too. It's crazy. It's crazy. They really want you to feel like you're stealing. Let's see. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Les El Blatino. Just started peeping your content the past couple weeks. I want to thank you for it as well. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Did you grab the free course? at the website, reezyresells.com. Go grab that. Both of your daughters look Hispanic. Yeah, my wife. My wife is Hispanic. Let's see, what do we got over here? Do you recommend taking photos of everything sent in for the inauthentic claim reason? No, definitely not. We only do it for Marshall shoes for the reason that the receipts from Marshalls only show the UPC numbers and not the product names. So if you submit a Marshalls receipt to prove authenticity, it doesn't really prove anything because the receipt just shows a bunch of numbers, and that's internal data to Marshalls. However, that number on the receipt is the same number that's on the retail tag. So if you photograph the brand new shoe in the box with the tag visible, which is how we do it, then that's enough proof to Amazon that that number on that receipt is associated with that shoe, and they can clearly see the shoe, which is new, with the tag attached and the Nike label or whatever label on the box. But I don't recommend overdoing it. Like, it's not fun to do stuff you don't have to do. Older textbooks worth sending in. Does the rank change? Definitely pay attention to the rank during textbook season, guys, not when you're not there. Who do we got? We got Clint. Clint, did you get it figured out, Clint? You're on the video, but I don't see you or hear you. I believe you're muted. We'll see if Clint gets it figured out. Auto reality. Wonder if liquor sales spike in tax season. I think everything spikes. Marshall's receipts doesn't have the manufacturer's UPC, just their own inventory number. Yeah, so hopefully what I just laid out, Steve Frisch, will help you with that, because that photograph is what ties it together. I actually have a really cool receipt scanner. I forget what the name is, but it's USB, wireless, connected to the computer, Wi-Fi, and it has an SD card slot. Flip a Dollar recommended it to me, and it is the best. It can scan receipts up to like 28 inches long or something. So if you have long receipt challenge status, you got to cut them in half and feed it. It'll automatically connect them for you though. But yeah, you just put it through and it's on the SD card, and then you put the SD card in and dump it to the computer, and it's literally the best thing ever. Let's see. Awesome. Mark, I believe I sent you the email already, Mark. Did you not get the email, Mark? I believe that you should have got the email. Mark, let me send it to you again here. Sending out another email. I feel like I'm sending out an SOS. Any news about the coffee line? I drink hella coffee. No news, no news. Just been super, literally haven't been able to think about anything and just been focused on buying and shipping stuff for the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. When should I start sending in my textbooks? Yesterday. I'm Portuguese too. No wonder we look alike. Awesome, Henry. Well, are you half Portuguese, Henry? I'm a quarter Portuguese. Have you met other reseller YouTubers like Craigslist Hunter, Rally Roots, and Thrift School? I have met Craigslist Hunter once at the reseller rally. I have not met Rally Roots. I can't wait till I do. Feel like I already have. But I have met other people. Nicole State. Other people. I know I've met other people. It's really weird, guys, when you have friends online and you talk to them a lot, especially some of them, like we're close friends. We have each other's phone numbers. We call and text, not just like on Instagram or whatever. I feel like we already know each other, or we already met at least. And so when you finally meet in person, I'm kind of unsure if it's the first time we met in person. It's not the same. It's so weird. I don't know. If that's ever happened to you, you know what I'm saying. But meeting internet friends in real life for the first time, it feels a lot different than meeting a new friend. It's not a new friend. It's a weird thing. The number to call in, auto 209-83 Reezy. I did send you the email. It came from reezyresells@gmail.com. Let's see. Oh, bossflips@yahool.com. That's not going to work. You can't typo your email and expect it to show up. Boss Flipsel at Yahoo? No, hold on. One sec, guys. We're going to get this. We're going to get this email. We're going to get at least one person on this live show, I promise. It's going to work. It's going to work. Yeah, it's got to work. So, Boss Flips at yahoo.com. And now let's get this going. Sorry for the dead air, guys. Give me a second while I struggle. I need like a quarterback guy while I'm on the live show so we can like pull up articles and send out messages. That would be super sick. Now accepting intern applications. So I just sent out a couple more emails. Let's see. Is it too late to hit up eFlip? I wouldn't be buying textbooks right now. I'd be waiting till after the next session fully starts going, because it's gonna peak after hold on, we got a caller coming in, guys. 1 second. You're live on Reezy Talks. Who's this?
It's Otto.
Hey, what's up, Otto? How are you doing?
I'm good, brother. I gotta mute the thing.
Yeah, definitely gotta mute the thing.
Yeah, I muted the thing.
Good. Always gotta mute the thing. How you doing, man?
Man, I am so good, brother. I'm so freaking pumped. It's ridiculous.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, I can tell, dude. Yeah. I've been seeing your messages in the group.
Yeah. I tried to get this on video, but there it goes. Do you see me?
Let me see if you're on the video. Let me see. I did send out the thing. So if you're
send the invite as go ahead.
Yeah, if you get the invite for the Hangout, you have to accept it. I believe you might need to have Hangouts installed, and then you should show up on the call.
It says invite people. Enter a name or email.
No. You don't want to start a new Hangout. You want to click on the link that I sent you in that email after you have Hangouts installed.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I went to like the Google the Google thing, but we'll just chat it for now.
Yeah. What's up, man? How can I help you out real quick?
Real quick. Here's one question. So when you go onto the Amazon seller app and it says the number of sales, is that the actual number that you're getting in income? Is that already taken out of the
No. So that's your total ordered product sales. The amount that's going is the amount that's shown in the payment information area.
Okay, yeah, it's such a labyrinth to try to figure out all that shit. I just feel like I'm back I'm in business school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been an artist and a musician for 20 and 30 years, and this is the first time that I'm focused on transitioning products into revenue.
Right.
And it's really given a whole new perspective on all of my work. You know, I've been sucking up content like it's going out of
because you're still working a 9 to 5 too, on top of hustling on the side, right?
It's ridiculous, bro. Yeah, I'm there. I'm a part owner of a community-based. It's a cooperative, so I'm on call pretty much all day long. I manage the facilities there, and so yeah, it's on top of all that. Psychically, it's like a 24-hour job, but it is. You know, I work 10 to 6 pretty much every day.
Right. And then after that, you work, 4 more hours for yourself?
Dude, I've been up at 5:30. I've always slept late. I've slept until 8. That's like the time I've always.
When did you start waking up at 5:30?
It's been a couple weeks now.
That's awesome. Do you know who Jocko Willink is?
No, but I saw that mentioned.
Okay, so he's a ex Navy SEAL, all around badass. Written a bunch of books on leadership. But he's like Mr. 4:30 a.m. So if you go on his Instagram every day, he posts at 4:31 a.m. a picture of his watch. That's it, every single day, 4:31 a.m.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if without purpose, numbers are meaningless, you know?
Right.
I appreciate that, but for me, it's now, I want to be my own maker. I don't want to be bound to anyone else's system. And I've always said that. I've always said to everyone that I've ever worked with, you may be washing dishes right now, but you're working for yourself.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you work for. If you have the mindset that you're here showing up to do the best job that you can do, no matter what you do, you're going to be awesome.
Right. Exactly.
People are going to see that, and they're going to be appreciative and maybe take you on to some other thing,
Right. Yeah. You always got to pretend like you're being evaluated, being watched. You know what I mean? Being measured.
Yeah, yeah. Or
And
even further than that, just to give love and just to be, as supportive as you can, because we're all suffering in this.
for sure.
You came from a tough background. I'm a white dude, so I can only complain so much. But we were the poor kids in the rich school, and I was raised by a single mother. So,
right.
We didn't have shit, and we played. Our playground was the dump that was next to the apartment complex.
Right. No, I feel that, man.
Yeah, yeah. But now it's just like the phrase that's been thrown around. You divorce your dollars from time.
Right. No,
whatever.
It's serious, man. It's like if you don't like, I almost feel like it is hard, right? It's hard to do the things you want to do if the majority of your time and your life is based around doing things you don't want to do because you're tired, right? And it's like,
absolutely,
all those things you want to do, like that you want to really do, like they require, your good energy at the good time. And, and maybe that time's just like random, maybe if you're a painter, you want to be able to be like, you just, holy shit, I got an idea. And you stay up 3 hours in the middle of the night painting it, but if you work at 7 a.m., you can't do that,
Dude, that's 100%, man. That's 100. When I was in school, I borrowed money so that I could have the freedom to be the best artist that I can be. And then when I got out into the real world, you can't just zone out for 2 days straight and not go to your job, But that's where you make the best work, is when the time goes away. So
right.
Now I'm fine. I came back into this because our business is having some challenges, and I don't want to be bound to that ship.
Right.
And so if you can create your own wealth and create your own schedule, dude, I'm hitting up everybody that I see, and I tell them, like, anyone that seems to have any intelligence or awareness that's working for somebody else, I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about selling on eBay?
Right.
And it's just amazing how newbies come in and they want it to be easy, for sure.
Right.
They see all those videos out there, like, you could be making $1,000 a week doing 2 hours of work.
Right.
And
not really, but
yeah.
And once you got your machine operating, what I think is awesome is that you could tell people, hey, did you know you could make $100,000 a year profit selling junk that you buy at garage sales on eBay? And they're like, really? And like, some people won't even really like take it serious, like they don't care, but that will literally change some people's life. And it's like a sentence that you could say. It blows me away because I feel like everybody knows that already, but they don't, right? It's not that like.
Well, it's living in the matrix. We are absolutely in the matrix. And, I used to smoke weed, and I'm so anti-weed right now because it dumbs down your ambition. And it's almost like I'm surprised the government hasn't legalized it. I guess they have, but the prison system, right?
Right.
System has weed legalized because it's given them free labor and really control the population.
Yeah.
But people use weed to try to make their miserable lives more tolerable. But if they turn that energy around and really had it focused in a better direction, they would be able to transcend so much more than just that temporary high.
No, I feel you. I'm not anti-weed, but I'm definitely not a regular user like I used to be when I was younger. It's not one of those things that I feel like I need to do. And like you said, it definitely, when I was younger, I used it in a way to where I felt like it made everything better, or like it made me better at everything. But I think that's just like some bullshit you tell yourself because it makes you feel good. Because like when you don't use it, and for long terms of period of time or whatever, you're like, no, this is like the real clarity. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
absolutely.
And then you're like, wait, like if I don't need it now, like what was I doing before? Like that was a waste of money and time or whatever, So it's like anything in moderation. I don't think it's bad. I think it's great for people that, I think it's like the best medicine on the planet for people that, need that for whatever thing that ails them or whatever. But definitely, I'll drink an IPA once in a while, it wouldn't be good if I was drinking IPA every day, all day, So
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's all layers. It's all levels,
yeah.
You know? Like smoking weed can be like taking a trip up on the space shuttle to the upper atmosphere, but you got to come back down. It takes concentrated energy to get out of the atmosphere and go into space, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah. No,
so
I feel that.
And I love weed, dude. Don't get me wrong.
Well, they talk about that. They talk about that a lot in books. Like, I just read a book, which I recommend to a lot of people, called Stealing Fire. I actually read it like a couple months ago. And it talks about like stealing fire. And basically the fire is like the magical insight of humans to like understand we could do anything, like God power. And that's what Prometheus stole, was the fire, and blah, 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 blah. And that's what basically, like, it's a metaphor for like having like omnipotent like thought and mind presence, which people realized way back in the day, like the Greek time, whatever, that you could, there were certain funguses they would eat or whatever and make wines out of or whatever, and they would take them to like the elevated state, and it was like the God level thing, you know. But this book basically talks about like that state, which is like the flow state. It could be achieved through, you know, meditation, through exercise, through this, through that, through, and drugs is one of them, you know. Definitely probably the more rash and less safe way to get there, you know. Like, if feel like if you know, if you were like that monk that like meditated and like, you know, fully got there, you know what I mean, you'd like have like this pure form of ecstasy or like realization that would be, it wouldn't go away, you know what I mean. It would be
Absolutely.
It would be like your state of being all the time. It wouldn't be something where you wake up the next morning and you're like, I knew everything last night. Wait, what? I knew all the answers yesterday. Let me grab my notes. Oh, wait, it's just chicken scratch. I can't even read it.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. You know, like,
Infinite
you found it, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the beautiful thing about all this. Like, I never had an interest in money. I wanted to find God. I found my spiritual path, and now, after practicing for 20 years, it's all energy. You know, I've been consuming Gary V nonstop, and my spiritual
dude,
teacher,
that's a lot of energy right there. Gary V nonstop.
Yeah. Well, my spiritual teacher talks about the same shit. You know,
right.
Attention is the manifestation of our highest reality. You know, you can take away your arms, your legs, but your consciousness is what defines you as
right.
You know.
Yeah, and when you have someone's attention, you can do things. Like, you can change the world. Like, when you have people, if you don't ever have someone's attention, good luck changing the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just by waking them up to their own power,
right,
you've already changed the world.
It's kind of like what I was saying in my last video. I was talking about, like, you owe it to yourself to chase your dreams, not just to yourself, but to others, because when you chase and realize your dreams, it shows others that they can do the same thing. And that also, you should, like, physically, like, you know, if you know people around you that like have dreams and the ability to do stuff and they're not doing it, like, give them a little push, you know. Like, at least me, I feel like that's my duty, right?
Yeah, it's weird because people think I'm a weirdo because I'm always trying to help, and like, if nobody wants, if they're not ready to receive what you're trying to give them, they just think you're a weirdo. You know? And it's like, no, like, you got me as a resource. If you need, you know, some cheerleading to get off smoking cigarettes or want to become a mechanic or whatever, like, I'll work with you to figure that out. And folks, it's hard to get past the conception that you've been programmed with for so many years, you know?
Right.
And the great thing about this process for me is not about making money. It's about using money as a metaphor for self-growth and development.
Right.
You know, because I can talk to people all day long about spirituality, and they just kind of gloss over and they don't give a shit.
Right.
You tell them they can make $100 this week by going to a garage sale. They're like, what?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I check this out. Everybody, you could try this if you haven't done this before. Next time you're talking to someone, you're having a conversation, and you realize they're not paying attention, try this. Just say, and then I found $5. They'll be like, what? You found $5? And you're like, motherfucker, you weren't even listening to me. I just told you like some profound shit. You weren't even listening. You said found $5. You're like, huh? What? But hey, I love chatting with you, man. We're gonna talk some more after the show. But I got someone on the show right now. They're gonna come in.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks
for
everything, man. I really appreciate it.
Have a good night, man. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Real stuff. Are you there?
I'm
Hello.
here.
Who do we have here?
I'm here. Stacey.
Hey, Stacey, how are you?
I'm all good.
It's awesome to talk to you. I guess it quote unquote in person.
I figured it out.
You figured it out. So you're on your phone, right?
Yeah.
If you turn your phone sideways, it'll be better.
Oh, okay. Better.
Yeah, there you go. Then it fills the whole thing. And if you put the light so it's behind the camera instead of behind you, it'll be the best.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, awesome. How are you? And thank you so much for sending and making and sending my daughter that amazing costume. She loves it.
Oh my God. I thought Halloween was going to kill me.
How many costumes did you make for Halloween?
Like 12.
Wow. So explain people who are watching or listening, this probably makes zero sense to them, but on the show is fellow reseller Stacey Risner. Her Instagram is, what are your Instagrams? Because you have two.
I have two. So
Two that I know of.
My reseller one is Reisner Vintage, and that's for everything that you guys know about. And then my other one for my my day job is called Reisner Costume, and I work in the film industry, and I do wardrobe services and anything that has to do with wardrobe for the film industry or the stage or anything with performance. Any clothes you can't go to the mall and buy.
That is so cool. So is that your own business or is that
Yes.
you work for? Okay, so your own wholly owned business.
Reezy, I have never had a boss.
Never in your entire life?
Never. I'm 47 years old and I've never had a boss.
That is so awesome. That is
I love
awesome.
it. I wouldn't
Do
know
you
how
have
to
do you
act
have
if I had
kids?
to like be beholden to someone.
Yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't
it's
even know
not
what to
good.
do.
I haven't done that for well over a decade, but it's I can tell you right now it makes you feel like you're in elementary school and like you have to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
No way. No way.
Do you have kids, Stacey?
I have one. We have one grown son who's 27.
And so how about him? Has that affected his work choices at all, seeing mom never having worked a 9 to 5?
Yes, he absolutely sees it. He is an electrical engineer. He has a huge, strong work ethic. And he's working on some things to patent some
That's
apps.
cool. That's cool. So how was holidays for you? I'm a little out of touch with like what's your bread and butter? Poshmark, eBay?
Okay, so I started on eBay when eBay started, when you had to actually take pictures and go have them developed and scan.
Like bring the photo CD back to the computer.
Right. And you had to like, you found something in the thrift store and you had to call someone and have them look it up at home and call you back
Yep.
to buy them.
What did we used to call that? Your rabbit, right? Call your rabbit.
So that's how long I've been doing eBay, but I did take a hiatus from it. I don't know, like probably 10 years. I just I kept my account active, but I wasn't super active on it. And but I've always been rattling around for junk, always.
Awesome. Is that something that you just picked up naturally or was that passed on? Because for me
I
it's
grew up like you. We didn't
generational.
have anything. I
Right.
mean, anything we had to scrap for it. We had to
Right.
make it. If you
I
wanted
think
something cool, you had to make it.
I think for a long time in my life, I thought I was underprivileged. And now I realize that like the more disadvantaged you are, it's kind of like you're actually overprivileged. You like, you know what I mean? Society would say you're underprivileged, but the reality of it is like when you come out of 18 years of growing up and like hardships, you're really tough versus someone that was like super babied, which is like the population is, we're giving out like 6th place trophies right now.
They're soft.
They're like melted butter in your back pocket. They're like 18. If you raise your voice at all, they can't even handle it. It's just crazy, right?
So yeah, I've always understood the value of used goods and the waste stream. that is just
Oh,
right in front of us.
so you do clothing? Do you do any other artwork?
I do sets for theater, props, and work with photographers when they want to do an ad for, like, I'm in Texas, and we have the Texas Lotto.
Mm-hmm.
And Lotto Texas contacted me. They needed some props for one of their ads, and they needed them tomorrow.
Wow.
And they had to have it, and so I stayed
And how
up.
did they find you?
It's a network. We all know each other.
Okay, you've been
The
in the game.
photographers and the makeup people and the wardrobe people, we all work together.
Right.
So I had to get this costume together in 24 hours, and the whole thing was shot in Spanish. It never even aired here. It was all it was all done like
It was
in
for the
Mexico.
Texas Lotto.
Yeah, but it's big in Mexico. So
The
I
Texas
never
Lotto is big in Mexico.
yes, huge.
Okay.
I don't know
That
how
makes
those laws
perfect
work.
sense. I don't know how the laws work at all, but it makes perfect sense. My wife's family is actually from that area, like El Paso, Juarez. They go back and forth, so
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
So when someone needs something like tomorrow and it has to be right, they can't go through all of these channels to go through union and try to get something done. They just call someone like me who I can move pretty freely and work pretty
Right.
quickly, and I just slam it out and get it done. I
Right.
love
No,
it.
that's awesome.
And I can charge
That's
whatever I
awesome.
want.
Yeah, I'm sure I was gonna say that I didn't want to like pry into that, but I mean, when a big corporation like that says we need a foam finger in 12 seconds, like it's an $800 foam finger.
I'm your girl.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. And every day is different. There's never an assignment that's like the last one. It's always different.
Was that the first Sally costume that you ever made, the one you made for Luna?
No, I've made one other, but it had to be for performance for stage. So it had to have a mic pack in the back and like a strap or something. So, but that's the first fun one I've ever made for a child.
Oh wow, awesome. Well, glad to have made that possible. She's already worn it a couple more times. It's
I
like a
was happy to
regular
do it. It was
regular
fun.
clothing. I like the quality is so much better. Like the costume quality that kids are wearing that they buy, from the stores, it's literally like the quality of a trash bag. Like I've seen trash bags that are better quality than some of the costumes that kids buy at Target,
Do
like
you remember the masks we got when we were kids? It was like
yeah.
and you could taste it.
Yes, it was definitely not like BPA free.
And there was two little holes and you were like suffocating. And the
Yeah.
little elastic band that broke the minute you put it on.
Oh yeah, no, I fully remember. I never had a good Halloween costume ever.
Good times, great oldies.
Yeah. So let's talk about reselling a little bit. How about for fourth quarter? I'm not a big clothing seller. You sell a lot of clothing, right?
Yeah, I haven't done great. I haven't done great. But I haven't really I've been so busy with my other business, I kind of haven't really focused on it. But one thing I had messaged you, I got this is so embarrassing. I got my merchant privileges revoked.
All completely merchant fulfilled? What
Because
happened?
we just moved into a new house, which, by the way, was almost completely paid for through reselling.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Whereabouts
It's
in the country?
near San Antonio.
Awesome. People are
Um,
moving to Texas, man. Texas is the new spot.
God, it's no, stop coming to Texas. We're full.
It's good. It's terrible. It sucks. Don't even try it.
300 people a day are moving to
Really?
Austin.
Yeah. No, around here, people do it. They say surfing sucks. Don't try it.
Yeah.
Or,
So
or even worse, people will put up fake shark sighting signs, literally fake signs that scare people away from coming to the beach just so that they can have the waves to themselves.
so when we moved, I packed up all my inventory,
Oh no.
and some of it got lost. I still haven't found it. So some of those items were merchant fulfilled. Well, they all were because I had them here. And I didn't realize they were gone until they sold.
Mm.
And it all happened at once. And I mean, you can't
How
make
many?
Amazon
How
mad.
many? How many orders?
Like 14.
And so, what did you do? Just cancel them all?
I canceled them all at one time.
Ouch.
And it just was a snowball. It was just this.
What
I was
kind of stuff
panicking.
was it?
Huh?
What kind of stuff was it?
All books.
Okay. So,
And some games,
so,
some board games.
so what ended up happening? You canceled it. They shut you down.
I got a couple of warnings, and then I was trying to go and actually repurchase the items somewhere else,
Right.
but some of it was rare. Like I couldn't find it in time.
Right.
And so then I got an actual phone call from Amazon. They called me and they said, you have 24 hours to write an appeal. And I did that. And by doing that, writing the appeal, they let me keep my FBA. But
Okay.
they said that they may never give me back my merchant privileges. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just going to try to be really good and get my metrics back up.
Yeah,
By
that's what
sending in
I would
tons.
do. I don't think it's permanent. I would just keep hitting them from all directions: email, chat, phone call, trying to ask to get make sure you get, make sure you get a domestic customer service agent, because they have more privileges, right? And they can actually, I think an internal term is like a senior account specialist or something.
Okay, writing that
But
down.
if you call and you ask, the fastest way to get an American domestic employee who can actually get stuff done is to ask for a captive call center. When you call in, just say, "Hey, can I have the captive call center?"
Okay.
And they know what that means. And then you're gonna get routed back to America, to people that can actually help you
I was
efficiently.
devastated because I started last year. We were on a cruise. We went on a cruise to Mexico, and we went on the Warp Tour cruise.
Oh,
Rewind at
nice.
Sea.
That sounds awesome.
It was amazing. Anyway,
I knew you were cool.
yeah. So when I was on the cruise is when I discovered you, because I had all this time to watch YouTube videos, and I was like, FBA, this is. I had heard of it, but I like couldn't get my mind around the scale of what it could be. So when we got back, I was like, I'm gonna try this, and I set it up, and I sold something like the first day, merchant fulfilled. I was
Wow.
like, oh,
What
wow,
was it? Do you remember?
It was film for the little Instax.
Okay.
The camera.
Yeah. Awesome.
You never forget the first thing you sold, right?
Right. I did forget the first thing I sold, but it was a long journey.
Well, so anyway, I was like hooked.
That's awesome.
So I had done everything right, and I was really rolling. I had a lot of, metrics were good, and I made enough money from December to October for the down payment on our new house.
Oh, awesome. So a little less than a year.
Yeah, a little less than a year.
From FBA or from FBA and eBay?
Well, everything reselling.
Right.
Poshmark
That's
was
awesome.
very successful.
That is awesome.
So anyway, I'm so happy
in Texas so I could do something like that, because it's getting harder and harder out here in California.
Texas is cheap. It's a secret. Everyone here
it gets really cold though, right? Yeah, you're on the most wanted list now. It gets cold though, right?
Not like, no. It would be for you.
Yeah, no, I can't. If it's 55, I'm freezing.
I think it hasn't frozen yet.
So do you do Poshmark at all, or just eBay?
Yes.
Poshmark. So I have yet to sell a single thing on Poshmark. I had some stuff. So here, this is what happened. I opened a Poshmark account. I announced it. Everyone followed me. I have who knows how many followers, whatever. And I posted like 10 things. I took 10 things from my eBay thing. I cross-posted them to Poshmark. Within 24 hours, 3 of those things sold on eBay. I swear to you, these were like stale items that were really old. It was like eBay got jealous. And they
It's the
sold on
resale
eBay.
money.
Yeah, and so then I canceled them on Poshmark and I didn't add anymore. And then months went by and I still didn't sell anything on Poshmark. And so it's been like 4 months of me having 7 items listed and nothing selling. So
Poshmark is needy.
I'm not trying, but yeah, I kind of don't understand that so much, the way they built Poshmark out. Like, why social media times selling? It doesn't really make sense because buyers and sell, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's kind of like I then take it to the next level, which is, okay, you have to share, you have to do this, you have to do this party, blah blah blah. And to me, I'm like, okay, use a bot, right? Make it easy, get it over with. And like, I'm probably going to catch fire for this, right? And like, I know that's against the rules and blah 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 blah, but like, if it ends up in helping you get more awesome clothing to more buyers that want to actually buy it, because that's the only way you actually get your products in front of people, you know, like, who the hell cares? Like, why? I just want to sell good products to people that want to buy good products. Why does it matter if I tapped this button or, you know, a code program I bought did? Like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? So because I think it's a needless way to make a platform, I do not feel bad about saying things like just use a bot. Like, how does that affect anything? I know I'll catch flame from a lot of people, but it just seems weird to me. As you know what I mean? It's just, it's weird in the way of like a store saying I can't buy everything on the shelf. You know, like what do you mean? You're selling it. I want to buy it for that price. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's so weird.
Well, and I don't dedicate time to it we all have so little time. You have to prioritize that time. Like,
Right.
I'm going to make the most money doing X thing. And then Poshmark always kind of comes to the end because it's needy. For the amount of time I spend, it's my lowest wage.
Yeah.
So I just do it when I'm waiting at the doctor's office, or I have things lined up that I can, when I have time, so I'm never off. We're always on.
Right. That's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people are like, but what if, you know, my employees, I can't hire people because when I tell them how to do it, they're going to take all my work, you know, like,
Oh,
no,
God.
they're not. And the thing is most people don't want to, most people like to turn off, right? They don't like to always be on. And so they just want to, like, they don't want to think about work all the time. Like, people like us, we're crazy. Like, my friends literally tell me, hey, Mike, come over to this barbecue, but don't talk business. Please don't talk business. And I'm like, I can't come then, I guess. I can't come.
I'm sorry. It's in you. It's in your DNA. Hey, how long have we been self-employed? It's what we're made of.
Right. I'm definitely not made to work 9 to 5. I just can't do it. I'm not a good employee.
And all
I'm
those
not.
people want what we have, and that's
Right.
how we have what we have.
Yeah, because we worked for it. People want stuff, but it's like want, I guess there needs to be like a new word. Like, you could want something, but like your level of want is like not really a high level, not high enough to do what it takes to get there. You know what I mean? Everyone
Yeah.
wants to be a professional athlete or whatever, but are they going to really do what it takes? Which is, I'm not a professional athlete, so I don't know, but I could say, you know, 5 a.m. workouts every day, you know, who knows, ungodly amount of work, you know, like, do you really want it, or do you just like to say you want it? You know what I mean? Like,
I want to be
it's
doing it, though. If I'm
levels
not
to it.
doing it, I feel a little empty and a little antsy, because then something's getting by me. I know it.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if I
no, for
don't
me
know
too.
it.
I'm the same way. I just the other day someone asked me, you know, what music do you like to listen to when you work? And I was like, actually, you know, I like to listen to podcasts when I work because I can get information that way and it's more efficient, you know? I'm such a sucker to efficiency. If it's not efficient, I'll waste way more time trying to make it efficient. Like, but yeah, you can't waste your time, you know? Like, I'm super super anal about wasting time, you know? I
And the
think
other
that's just
thing, like with me, is I never focus on the money. I focus on the act, and the money comes. I don't know. It's that abundance mindset.
right. No,
I never worry
definitely.
about the money.
Abundance is and I didn't really learn about abundance mindset until much later in life, but growing up where I grew up, where I live in Santa Cruz, California, people are really open-minded and free-spirited, really positive. So I learned
Not
from a
Texas.
young yeah, basically I learned from a young age to like not stress about stuff and to be happy, like to value your happiness basically more than anything, like which is a lot of places it's the exact opposite. And I lived in the Midwest, you know, they're like, well, who cares if you're happy? Just secure your job and take care of your family, you know. But what I learned is that, you know, your happiness is very important. And like, don't worry if, you know, something blows up, you know, if a door closes, you know, there's always like another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors that you can go into, you know. So don't worry about it. You're always going to go somewhere, you know.
And maybe somewhere better.
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
I
Why
thought
not?
I had
Right.
it made before I even knew about Amazon. And then it was there all along, but I just didn't know. And then I found out about Amazon, and it changed everything.
Right. I
So,
love it. I always tell people that I'm like, Amazon, like eBay was my first love, and then I cheated on eBay with Amazon and never went back. And I get mad because I think eBay is an important part of the equation because there's so much stuff you can't sell on Amazon, or like me, I sell a lot of brand new shoes. Some of them get dirty from customers and get returned, you know, like eBay is the perfect place for me to turn those back into $50 bills. And in a way, I'm kind of like out of touch with it because I took a break for so long. So I always tell people that are like eBay sellers that want to come into Amazon, I'm like, you're gonna love Amazon, but don't forget about eBay. Like you need eBay. You know what I mean? Like, and the same dichotomy of that is that I have workers. I have 2 part-time workers, high school kids, and the new one, I got him doing eBay stuff. And I think I'm gonna like not allow him to do Amazon stuff because I don't want him to know how good it is. You know what I mean? Because the other guy, he doesn't want to do eBay stuff at all. It just piles up because he knows how quick he can do the Amazon stuff, right?
oh, let's talk about storage.
Let's do it.
So,
Your Amazon storage?
so fortunately, we kept our old house,
Oh,
which
wow.
is like it's just full of books. Oh my God. It's just, there's books everywhere. Books and board games and
Are they all listed?
most of them. Yeah.
So
I,
that's your warehouse?
yeah. So they were all
It's
turned
literally a
to
house
film.
full
And
of wares.
when this terrible thing happened where I couldn't sell that stuff anymore, now I'm sending it all in like shipment after shipment.
Right.
Trying to get it all gone. But once you're in, like, can you ever get out of Amazon? Like,
You
I
can you
feel
can
like,
pay to have your stuff sent back to you. I believe it's fairly cheap. It's
oh,
like
okay.
35 cents or 50 cents a unit. And occasionally they'll do a free removal. It hasn't happened for a while. They don't do it because they're nice. I think what happens is they change the fine print for their terms and conditions. And then when they do that, they have to offer us an escape route since we, you know, legally, because we sent those items in before that change. You know what I mean? It's like, it just doesn't make sense. And like, I have 4,000 books in stock, Stacey, at FBA. And I think just a little over 2 years ago, I had 40,000. So I'm actually still doing like 75% like of the sales as I would normally do. So I obviously had a lot of dead weight, but it just goes to show you like how much looser I was able to play because of the fees and how much they've changed over time. You know, now we're like really lean, you know.
Right. I
But yeah, send
remember
it back, destroy it.
when I first started was when all that happened. So I never knew the good times.
Right. Well, that's good in a way. You know, I mean, there was for a long time. I don't know if you heard about it, but there was something called the single ASIN exemption, which meant that for any item, you could send 1 unit to Amazon and you'd never get charged a long-term storage fee for that 1 unit. So even if you had 2, you would only get charged for 1 because 1 got an exemption. And they did that to, encourage people to populate their catalog with FBA items, and then either it backfired and whatever. But that's how we had 43,000 books at FBA, because every book was costing us, a 1 to 3 cents a month, and almost none of them were getting long-term storage fees. If we had 43,000 books at Amazon, probably 41,000 of them were unique. The other ones were a few fees here and there. And then they hit it, like I've literally destroyed like 12,000 books a couple times.
Do they really destroy them?
Well, one time I had them sent back to me. No, I don't think they do. They sell them on warehouse deals. But I had them sent back to me, 12,000 books. And after a few months went by, and the books stopped showing up, they hadn't sent me all the books. And so we, like, literally thousands of books never showed up. And so we fought them on the case, saying that they need to reimburse us for those thousands of books that they couldn't find. And it took a whole year, and they finally reimbursed us. And it was a ridiculous, ungodly amount. But so that's kind of like a case in point for having your book sent back to you, because, they don't know they lost them until they go and look for them.
Well, they can afford
They sent
it.
me all kinds of stuff. When we ordered 12,000 books sent back, I got a few boxes of like bamboo kitchen utensil organizers, like dozens of them. Never seen them in my life.
And those didn't belong to you, right?
No, definitely not. If you're watching this and something like that's happened to you, please comment below. You've sold something that you didn't ship in. You've had stuff returned that wasn't your stuff. Like, where did this come from? Like, I want to know. Those are weird stories.
What an odd thing to get back. Bamboo kitchen organizers.
They're
Makes
nice
you wonder
though.
who
I
got your
gave
stuff.
them out as Christmas gifts.
Makes you wonder who got your stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of weird stuff, man. I got a lot of stories. Amazon shipped one of my customers a giant knife with no packaging, just a knife. And the customer was like super mad, like wanting to sue me. I have no idea how it happened. No resolution at all. Amazon took care of it, but giant knives getting mailed to people with no packaging. No poly bag, not a packaging, not a FBA sticker, just like a giant knife. Like, what's going on, Amazon?
Oh, well, I definitely think that there is just so much opportunity for every kind of person. Like someone like myself who's never had to punch a time clock. How do you do that? I don't even know. Or like someone who is in a terrible job that they hate, who just is miserable and wasting time.
There's an endless opportunity, Stacey, and that's really what I like. Like, I don't, as much as I like to teach people about reselling, when it comes down to like all the super technical stuff, it's not like the fun part to me. The fun part for me is just like making people believe that it's real and that they can do it, and like guiding them in the right direction and like giving you little tips and stuff, But like the reality of it is it's so much more fulfilling to me that like you could transition your lifestyle, maybe out of a job you hate to maybe spending more time with your kids, to maybe, oh, you used to paint, now you're painting again, or you used to break dance, now you're break dancing again, now you're doing what you actually want to do, now you started your costume business on the side, you know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of hold on a second, Mark, go ahead and mute that, Mark.
Okay, just did.
Hi, Mark.
How you doing, Mark?
Oh, we can't hear Mark.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah,
Sorry
you just
about
needed.
that. I was
you
on
just
my
needed-
phone.
You need to mute the show so that you don't get. Oh, do you have headphones in, Stacey?
No.
All right, I guess we'll just deal with it. It's fine. If you have headphones and you with a microphone, you can plug them in. That's always better.
Okay, let me try that.
I'll get
But
some.
otherwise, it's fine. Oh, you guys, everyone just ditched me. It's all good. Let's go to the chat and see if we got any questions here. The chat's been on their own. The Great Saya Man says, "Reezy looking like a snack." I'm gonna hope you're female, the Great Saya Man. Which yeah, you're definitely not the Great Saya Woman. So like a white milk dud.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah. Good.
I'm sorry.
Awesome.
I've just been said that I look like a white milk dud right now, so that's pretty funny. White
Can
milk
you hear
dud.
us,
How you
Mark?
doing, Mark?
Hey, how you doing? I was trying to do it from my phone, but for some reason, my phone wasn't allowing the link to go through.
Look at those stacks of books back there.
Oh yeah.
Are you here now, Mark?
Yeah.
How are you,
Okay.
Mark?
Good, very good. It's just I just need to fix the volume here. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm doing
Where are you
well.
from?
I'm from Lincoln, Rhode Island, the smallest state.
Rhode
Reezy's been
Island.
here. He went to one of Chris Green's events
Yeah.
in Providence.
I almost occupied the whole state. No. How large is Rhode Island? I mean, how
Well, you can
small?
travel north to south in 45 minutes.
The whole state, and that's the
The whole
long
state.
side. That's the
That's
long
one
side.
Going from the north of the state all the way down to Connecticut border. That's about 45 minutes.
My
That's
nearest
so-
Target is 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
small.
That's so weird to me because California is so large. Like it's decently large sideways, and like
Yeah.
long ways, it's like it's like you're gonna take 8 hours, maybe more, to drive all of California. 10 hours. I don't know, but what kind of
Someone
what kind of
said to
weird
me
stuff is going on? Like when you live in a place where you can just like drive 20 minutes to another state or to 3 different states.
I'm right
you
on the
know?
border, so I'm in Massachusetts all the time.
Right.
I'm like 10 minutes from the border from Mass. Boston's about 30 minutes from me.
So you got like different tax rates in different places.
Yeah. Well, Rhode Island and Mass is very similar, but then when you get to New Hampshire, they have no sales tax.
Okay. So yeah, when you make a big purchase, you go to New
Purchase,
Hampshire.
we go up there.
Gonna get a car.
Not
Gonna
me
get a wedding ring.
personally. The car is a little different because it's taxed on where you register your vehicle, so they
Oh
get you
yeah,
when you register it.
that makes sense.
Items like computers and cameras and stuff like that, people go over the border.
So you got your next shipment there behind you.
Yeah, I was dealing with Amazon today. I was boxing up this shipment, and I got 3 items that was giving me errors, and it wouldn't list it. I mean, it actually listed it. It put it in my shipment, and then when I went to print out this FNSKU label, it wouldn't find it in my inventory, but it was in Amazon's inventory. So I had to
What?
call them, and they had to actually see what was happening. They were able to figure out one of the items. The other item, he said they're still working on it.
Weird.
So I had to delete the shipment and put the shipment back in. It was a mess.
So how long you been doing FBA books for?
I would say on and off over probably 2 years, but I full time probably this year has been full time.
Full
But
time.
mainly it's I just don't deal with books though. I do a lot with toys and other items.
You do retail
And-
arbitrage.
Yeah, retail stuff.
Awesome. You
Books,
do online at
I'm
all?
just- What is that?
Do online at all, or just
No,
retail?
Just retail. Just going into shops and stuff and picking up stuff like that.
So would
But
you
my
say with
mom's
books, you're just getting started, or?
Yeah, for that stuff, yeah. But my mom's really into the eBay stuff, where I've always started with the Amazon.
Nice. You got a nice Harley shirt on right there.
Oh yeah.
Did you thrift that?
I wish I had the bike.
Harley stuff is a good bolo if you're listening and you don't know.
Yeah, this is probably a $50 shirt on eBay.
Nice.
I picked it up at I actually picked it up at a thrift store.
Yeah, I knew it. I got a few
$3.
Harley t-shirts. I got a few Harley tees in my death pile that I need to list.
It has the
Like
back too.
large screen prints. Oh, nice. Full spell out.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
But your
So,
guest was saying that she has a house full of books, huh?
Stacey, she's in the process of shipping that house of books off to FBA.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's part of marriage counseling.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mark, anything I can help you with? Any way I could provide some value to you right now while we're here?
I just wanted to call and say the information you've been given has been outstanding. I love watching your show and I get so many great tips from you.
Awesome, bro.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm glad, man. I never knew, like, growing up, I always wanted to say like I would be important or remembered or change the world or whatever, and I never knew how. And then growing up, I was like, yeah, that's just some shit you say to kids. Never, it's not real. Then I like cocoon butterflied around 33 years old and like realized it all, like thanks to Gary Vee, and then thanks to like doing this and like hearing it from people telling me, and so it's like, in a way, I like to tell, I'm like, thanks for letting me help you because it changed my life. You know what I mean? So it's so cool to be able to, I guess, change the world, help people. And like all I tell people is like, keep it going, like pay it forward. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like if
Well,
you can help someone, help them.
Your message is great, but you also like you tell it as it is. I mean, you don't sugarcoat anything, and you tell the good stuff with the bad stuff, which one of the things I like about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, you got to, man. I'm not 99.9% of everything I do is either live or, not very rehearsed at all. I guess some of that is because I'm lazy, but it's just easier for me to do it live, right? Or to do it in one take. And you can't, I don't have enough time to sugarcoat stuff, you know what I mean? Or to lie or to like present stuff in one way to this person in one way. I'm going to give it to you how it is. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe I'm not for you, but like I could like, who are these people that like, do it different with different people? Like I just couldn't keep up with that. It's just way too like, it's just pure. It's just efficient to tell the truth and to like, be like honest, and like, here it is. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
now what you're thinking about what's going to happen with FBA with books and stuff? Do you think it's going to get more difficult or?
I mean, everything always gets progressively more difficult over time. Nothing that's worth doing ever gets easier. There's always going to be more competition, right?
Yeah.
But we also face Amazon on the other end. What are they doing? Right now they implemented the rolling long-term monthly storage fees, and a lot of people are going to quit selling books based off that. Like books are one of the products that a lot of people were making a lot of money selling items that took longer than 6 months to sell. I know myself, I was selling like 10 or 15 books a day that were over a year old every day. And you can't do that anymore. So I don't know. It's really hard to think, but I really don't see books getting like too much harder. It's just that everything they're just moving around, right? You have to like go and find them, It's like, okay, are they at this thrift store or that Goodwill? Is this Goodwill selling online? Are they accepting donations? Are they not? Like, where are the books going? I don't think the general population has like changed their behavior of reading physical books. Like, we still have the same amount of physical books. The demand online is the same or increasing. I'd say probably increasing. There's still weirdos who don't shop online, right? Like, if you're listening to this and you don't shop online, try it. It's fine. Trust me.
I actually went to a used bookstore in our area, and she had no clue how Amazon works or anything like that. And she
Were you
was
buying books off the shelf?
Well, it was a used bookstore, so she had a lot of the fiction books. It wasn't really not a lot of nonfiction.
Right.
But when I started talking, she says, "Oh yeah, I use an app for it, but I don't use the Amazon app. I use the Book Scout app." And
Right.
I tried to have a conversation with her, but she had no clue at all about Amazon, how the sales rank works, or anything.
Honestly,
like that.
it's running a retail business is hard enough. It would be really hard to keep up with Amazon and run a retail business. I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, if you want to, especially people that we're going to partner with or do some kind of commission type thing or whatever, it's like, look, you need us because this is our bread, like our lifeblood.
Yeah.
And we're going to understand how this system works better than anybody, no matter what, because we have to, because our life depends on it. And then you're getting the benefit of that, as us helping you because, let's face it, your volunteers or your $30,000 a year workers, they're not going to be able to figure it out and they're not going to be able to run it.
Do you do a lot of consignment with the bookstores?
Not a ton, not a ton. A couple libraries and some nonprofits.
Okay.
But it's very hard to, I'm ecstatic if I can get them to run the scanner to scan the books.
Yeah.
And that stops me from having to send someone there to go once a week, to go through all the books, or, and only one of the three that we have can actually make the shipments, you know what I mean? Which is a godsend, because then we don't have to make them or whatever. But it's tough, and then one thing, maybe they can make shipments and then something changes. One thing changes, the whole system's broke. You know what I mean? So I think people underestimate what the reality is of like managing, running, being on top of, an Amazon account.
But I know you were saying that some of the thrift stores were trying to sell online, and then you went back like 2 or 3 weeks later and they gave up because it was just either the person quit or it was just too difficult for them, or
well, usually not that quick, but it always happens. Eventually something happens, they were set up, they figured it out, then the person that was running it quit or whatever, and then they barely kept it afloat, and then a major rule changes happened with Amazon, and now 3 months of losing money with their web endeavor, and then they just shut it all down, and then the next day there's 20,000 books at the bins, like
Mark, in your area, do you have I don't know if there's a way to ever know, but if you have a lot of other resellers in your area?
I'm out in the thrift stores, I sometimes bump into them, but other than that, it's just basically what going on Facebook or Instagram.
So
and
in
like,
my area, we have I live in a very small town, and we only have one little business where we can drop our FBA shipments that does UPS and FedEx. And I, of course, have a really good relationship with these people now. And I asked them, does anyone else come in with these big, heavy shipments of books? Like,
with the FBA
you're trying
shipments.
to make them understand like what this even is. And they're like, no, Stacey, what is this that you are doing? Like, they cannot get their mind around this. And so I feel like in my area, my kind of ecosystem where I live, that I think I'm pretty much the only person in a few hundred square miles who's doing this.
Wow.
And it's awesome.
That's great.
It's amazing. But the other day I was in a Goodwill, or I can't remember where I was. And I heard a scanner. I was like, oh man, someone else is in this building and they're on my jam. So there is at least one other person, but then I think
you didn't go find them out and bug them?
Oh, I was eavesdropping.
Okay.
I was observing.
Yeah.
I was observing.
Hey,
he was an older guy.
Hold on a second. You guys hang tight for a second.
Okay,
I'm gonna say a piece real quick, but you guys just stay tight. Don't go anywhere. So guys, we've been on the show, I believe, for about an hour and a half or so. This is a new thing that I'm trying, bringing people on to the live show, and I haven't fully figured it out. So let me know below in the comments what you think about it. Hopefully I'll advertise it next time so we can get more people like to join in or whatever. Just let me know how it is, how you like it. And especially if you're listening on the podcast, send me an email, send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know what you think about this podcast episode specifically. If you're new to this whole world, please go to my website, reezyresells.com, and sign up to get my free Amazon course, which will give you the information you need to know if Amazon's for you and what you need to do and where you need to go to get it going. But that's going to be the end of this episode. 67 of Reezy Talks. Please smash the like button, subscribe if you aren't subscribed, and I will see you next week, Monday, 6 p.m.-ish Pacific Standard Time. And remember, guys, if you ain't flipping, you slipping. Have a good night.